Alert tonight, thousands of young athletes are taking to the field this fall, but with every hit, there's a risk of injuries, and one of the most common injuries and often misunderstood is the concussion. 8 News reporter Madison Moore spoke with UVA Health Sports Concussion Service Team today and breaks down how this all happens.
Yeah, from the sidelines to the locker rooms, it's more important than ever for players, coaches, and parents to understand how to identify and prevent concussions.
A concussion happens when a bump or a blow to the head or even a whiplash injury causes the brain to sort of move around in the skull, and it disrupts the brain function.
Concussion is a metabolic injury, meaning it impacts the brain's chemistry, with symptoms including dizziness, headache, and blurred vision.
A concussion is not detectable by CAT scan or MRI. The thought of, oh my gosh, well, the CAT scan was normal, so I don't have a concussion, that doesn't necessarily apply.
UVA clinical neuropsychologist Dr. Rachel Smentana explains one of the ways athletes can reduce their risk for a concussion is staying up to date on the rules of the sport.
Especially as we get into high school competition, we might see people not pay as close attention to the rules or, maybe do an illegal hit or something somewhere.
Beyond the rule book, awareness is key. Not all concussions look alike, meaning coaches and trainers need to have open conversations with their players about what a concussion is, and more importantly, what it feels like to have one.
If the athlete was injured in the first half of the game and they're puking in a bucket and sweating and complaining of a headache and nauseous and slurring words and confused by the second half of the game or by halftime, that needs more urgent evaluation than, oh, let's just wait till Monday.
If it's determined a player is concussed, it's against the law in all 50 states for them to return to the game that day. Once a player is in the clinic, a deeper detective work begins, starting with a baseline test.
I'm talking to the patient. I'm looking at them. Are they guarding their eyes from the bright lights in the room?
We do that detective work to understand that mechanism of injury and the symptoms that ultimately guide that diagnosis of concussion.
But for those athletes with multiple concussions, the questions get more serious.
Just because you've had 3 concussions doesn't mean you will be demented by age 40, but that means we need to be very intentional about how we get you back into sport and what kind of sport you play.
You can find more resources on concussion prevention and safety on our website, wrac.com. Reporting in Chesterfield, I'm Madison Moore, 8 News.